Have you ever wondered how serial killers, the coldest, most calculating criminals on the planet, got caught? In many cases, it was because of a stupid mistake, like a parking ticket, a missing license plate, or a blocked drain pipe. Today, we're counting down the 10 biggest blunders and miscalculations that led to the capture of notorious serial killers. Stay tuned. Number 1. David Berkowitz. Parking tickets. Meet David Berkowitz, aka the Son of Sam, who gave New York City chills in 1975. His thing? Picking victims randomly and shooting them with a .44 caliber revolver. He took 6 lives, injured 11, and threw the city into a panic. How did he get caught? In 1977, Cecilia Davis was near one of Berkowitz's crime spots when she saw a suspicious man standing next to a car. Something screamed "run" in her head, so she did. Shots followed as she sprinted away. Luckily, Davis had noticed a parking ticket on the car and reported it to the police. Smart move. The police investigated and found that the car belonged to Berkowitz. They examined his ride, found illegal weapons, and slapped on the cuffs. In 1978, Berkowitz was sentenced to 25 years to life for each murder he committed. Number 2. Joel Rifkin. Missing license plate. Joel Rifkin got slammed with 9 murder charges and a hefty 203-year jail sentence. But his actual murder count from his 4-year killing spree in New York might have been as high as 17. If it wasn't for one mistake, Rifkin might have kept going. In 1993, the police tried to ticket him for a missing license plate. Instead of pulling over, Rifkin freaked out and hit the gas, leading the police on a wild car chase. After 20 minutes of crazy driving, Rifkin crashed into a pole. When police approached the truck, they were hit with a nasty smell. One of Rifkin's victims was hidden in the back under a sheet. A simple missing license plate gave him away. Number 3. Peter Sutcliffe. Fake license plate. Now let's jump across the pond to the north of England, where the Yorkshire Ripper had taken 13 lives between 1975 and 1980. The police had come up empty until 1981, when they discovered Peter Sutcliffe in a car with an escort. While his car had a license plate, police ran it and discovered it was a fake. Upon further investigation, the police realized that Sutcliffe resembled the description of the Yorkshire Ripper. They found a weapon stash in his car, along with a knife that he hid in the police station's toilet. Following intense questioning, Sutcliffe admitted to the crimes, acknowledging that he was caught. He confessed, saying, "I know what you're leading up to. It's me. I'm the Ripper." He received a minimum sentence of 30 years, which later changed to a lifelong sentence. Sutcliffe passed away in jail in 2020 at the age of 74. Number 4. Earl Nelson. Scratch marks. Earl Nelson, also known as the Dark Strangler or the Gorilla Man, sustained a head injury as a child, leading to erratic behavior. Over the course of a year and a half, Nelson became one of the most prolific serial killers in the U.S., claiming the lives of at least 29 people across various states, including Washington, California, Oregon, and Missouri. Eventually, he ended up in Winnipeg, Canada. After more killings, a search was initiated for someone matching Nelson's description. During this time, he visited a barber, where a worker noticed blood and scratch marks on him. The authorities were informed, and Nelson was arrested. He was convicted of murder and executed in Canada in 1928. Number 5. Arthur Shawcross. Lewd behavior. Arthur Shawcross, known as the Genesee River Killer, was released from prison after taking the lives of 2 children. The next year, he started terrorizing people in Rochester, New York, claiming at least 12 lives. In January 1990, the police found one of his victims lying on an ice shelf of a river. They decided to scout the area by helicopter, believing the killer might return. Fortunately for the authorities, Shawcross returned to the scene to relive the pleasure of the attack. Police in the helicopter spotted Shawcross standing on a bridge next to a small van. He appeared to be either masturbating or urinating. After checking his vehicle's license plate and uncovering his dark history, the police arrested Shawcross, who confessed to the murder. He received a 250-year jail sentence and passed away in 2008. Number 6. Harold Shipman. A fake will. Harold Shipman, also known as Dr. Death, might be one of the most prolific killers in history, with over 250 victims. Shipman worked as a general practitioner in Manchester, England. He formed friendships with older patients, convincing them to include him in their wills. Then he would administer fatal doses of morphine to them. Shipman's mistake was creating a fake will for one of his victims. Angela Woodruff, a solicitor, became suspicious when she learned that her mother's will left everything to Shipman. Upon closer inspection, she was surprised by the amateur nature of the will. An investigation revealed that Shipman's typewriter had been used to draft the will. During an interview, Shipman suggested that it was Woodruff's mother who had borrowed the typewriter to write her will. In 2000, Shipman received a sentence of life in prison. He took his own life in 2004 on what would have been his 58th birthday. Number 7. Dennis Nilsen, blocked pipes. Dennis Nilsen, also known as the British Dahmer, was a serial killer and cannibal. He would keep the bodies of his victims under the floor of his apartment and lay next to them when he missed them. But in 1981, Nilsen ran into trouble when he moved into a new apartment that had nowhere to hide the bodies of his victims. Instead, he dismembered them, stored them in plastic bags, and tried to flush some of the remains down the drain. This caused a blockage in the apartment complex's pipes. The neighbors complained, and when plumbers were called to fix the issue, they discovered human body parts in the pipes. The police investigated, traced the evidence back to Nilsen's apartment, and arrested him. He was given a life sentence and died in prison at the age of 72 due to health issues. Number 8. Randy Kraft, reckless driving. In 1983, California Highway Patrol officers noticed a car driving erratically on the freeway. Suspecting a DUI, they pulled the car over. As one officer delivered a sobriety test to the driver, the other checked in on the passenger, who remained strangely still in the car. To their surprise, they discovered the passenger was a tied-up corpse. By sheer chance, the officers had uncovered the identity of the notorious scorecard killer or freeway killer, Randy Kraft. It is suspected that Kraft murdered as many as 67 people. In 1989, Kraft was found guilty of murdering 16 men and received the death sentence. At the time of writing, Kraft is still on death row, now 73 years old, in the infamous San Quentin prison in San Francisco. Number 9. Ted Bundy, stolen vehicle. In early 1978, Florida faced a series of brutal attacks and slayings. The spree came to an end when Officer David Lee noticed a stolen VW Bug and a driver who was acting suspicious. When the thief attempted to escape on foot, Lee tackled and arrested him. It was soon discovered that Lee had captured the notorious Ted Bundy, who had escaped custody multiple times and committed a slew of horrific murders. This kicked off an extraordinary 11-year circus of criminal trials, after which Bundy was sentenced to the death penalty. While he confessed to killing 30 people and was confirmed to have taken 20 lives, there's speculation that the true number could be much higher. Bundy's death sentence was carried out in 1989. Number 10. Dennis Rader, a floppy disk. In Kansas, between 1974 and 1991, a number of people were murdered by BTK, a serial killer with a self-selected nickname who teased both the media and law enforcement in his messages. However, he disappeared for more than a decade, resurfacing in 2004 to send detailed letters to the Wichita Eagle newspaper. The police managed to persuade BTK that he could avoid being traced if he sent a floppy disk containing the documents he wanted published. BTK fell for the ruse, and experts found evidence on the disk linking it to a church and its council president, Dennis Rader. In 2005, Rader pled guilty to 10 counts of murder and received a 175-year jail sentence. Thank you for watching. Which serial killer do you think made the dumbest mistake? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more videos about serial killers and true crime.